My stepdad declared I'd never achieve anything without the family wealth, so I acquired the family enterprise and let him go. I was 16 when Richard wed my mother and relocated us to his grand estate. He controlled Hartwell Builders, the largest construction firm across 3 counties. During dinners, he'd recline in his cushioned seat, twirling his drink, pontificating about heritage and lineage like a monarch. "This company remains with the family," he'd proclaim, gesturing with his glass toward Kevin. True family. The implication was unmistakable. I wasn't truly part of it. My real dad passed away when I was 8. Mom battled hardship for years until she met Richard at her support group for grief. Initially, he appeared a rescuer, clearing our debts, moving us from a tiny flat to his vast mansion. But the charm faded fast. When I finished high school with a 4.2 GPA, Richard handed me a low-paying gig in the warehouse, hauling materials at dawn. Meanwhile, his son Kevin landed a cushy office role, despite scraping by at a local college. "Be thankful," Richard told me when I inquired about growth prospects. "Without our legacy, you're nobody. No network, no funds, no prospects. At least I'm offering you real labor." Kevin grinned from his desk, legs propped up, engrossed in video games. That evening, I resolved to dedicate the next 12 years to proving him wrong. I joined the Army Corps of Engineers the next week, spending 4 years mastering construction from scratch. While Kevin partied through school on his father's cash, I constructed spans in war zones, honing leadership under fire. I used my GI Bill for a civil engineering degree at a state university. I graduated with top honors while pulling overnight shifts at Morrison & Company, Richard's top rival. Richard scoffed when he learned of my degree. "Digging in the mud won't make you one of us, kid." By 25, I oversaw key projects for Morrison. By 30, I was a partner, excelling at correcting Hartwell Builders' blunders. Each win, each deal we snatched, echoed Richard's taunts in my mind. Last month, Richard suffered a severe heart attack mid-meeting. While he healed, Kevin drove the firm into chaos. 3 big lawsuits, 2 safety violations from OSHA, and a harassment scandal that hit the headlines. Their top backer, Henderson Properties, bailed entirely. The bank demanded loan repayments. Hartwell Builders was losing cash faster than a ruptured water main. That's when I struck. I'd spent years quietly winning over their clients, forging bonds, showcasing our better craftsmanship. When I bid to buy Hartwell Builders for 60 cents on the dollar, the frantic board agreed instantly. The deal closed yesterday. Today, I stepped through the entrance at 8 a.m. sharp, past the foyer where my teenage photo still didn't hang alongside the family portraits, just Richard, Kevin, and Richard's dad, the company's founder. Richard's aide, Sarah, looked puzzled seeing me in a tailored suit. "He's in his office," she said cautiously. "But he's not expecting visitors this early." "He's expecting me," I replied, adjusting my tie and glancing at my watch. "He just doesn't realize it." I swung open his office doors unannounced. Richard sat behind his huge wooden desk, the same one where he'd processed my meager pay forms 16 years back. He glanced up, irritated and weary from his hospital stint. "What are you doing here?" I grinned and laid the ownership documents atop his morning brew. "Tidying up," I said. Richard's face cycled through shock, denial, then a simmering fury that made his veins pop. "This can't be," he mumbled, leafing through the pages with trembling hands. The board wouldn't sell to an outsider. They voted unanimously, I cut in, easing into the seat opposite him like it was mine. Turns out they didn't love Kevin's harassment suit or the 3 safety breaches that almost killed the Riverside job. Funny how insurance costs soar when you skip safety rules. His complexion turned red as uncooked steak. "You scheming little brat. You planned this for 16 years. I nodded, crossing my legs calmly. "Since you said I'd be nothing without your cherished family name." Richard shot up, his chair crashing back against the glass pane. "This firm's been ours for 3 generations. My granddad built it from scratch in tough times. You can't just stroll in and..." "Actually, I can. I did. And now we need to review your exit package." The word exit struck him like a punch. His jaw flapped like a stranded trout. You're dismissing me? Effective today. I slid a prepared folder across the desk. 2 weeks' wages per state law. Your company vehicle keys, access badge, and corporate cards must be turned in before you leave today. For a second, I thought he'd collapse again. His hand gripped his chest, breath rasping and shallow. 16 years, he gasped, leaning on the desk. 16 years, I sheltered you, fed you, clothed you, gave you chances you'd never have had, and told me daily I wasn't truly kin. I replied, voice firm and composed, that I was worthless without your name, lucky for crumbs. The door flew open, and Kevin staggered in, looking rough from a night of drinking. His hair was messy, shirt creased, stinking of booze and cheap scent. Dad, what's happening? Security said. He froze, spotting me seated like I owned the place, which I now did. What's he doing here? Kevin snapped, jabbing a shaky finger at me. Detailing your exit package, I said cheerfully, producing another folder. 2 weeks' pay, same as your dad. Company items due by 5 p.m. today. Kevin's bleary eyes flicked between me and Richard. Exit? What's he on about? Show him the papers, I told Richard. Kevin grabbed the documents, lips moving as he wrestled with the legal terms. I watched realization crash over him like a derailed train. This can't be legit, he croaked. You can't take our business. I didn't take it. I bought it legally after your chaos pushed it to the edge of ruin. Chaos? Kevin's voice jumped higher. I've worked here 3 years, I interrupted. In that time, you faced 2 harassment suits, racked up $180,000 in safety fines, and lost 3 big deals from delays and shoddy results. Those suits were nonsense, Kevin growled, stepping toward me. That assistant wanted it, flaunting tight skirts, leaning over my desk. Quiet, Richard barked, glaring at his son. Kevin, stop now. But Kevin, fueled by liquor, kept going. You think you're clever, snatching our firm? But you'll wreck it in a year. You're not kin, never were. You're just a pity case my dad took in. The words lingered like fog. Even Richard shifted uneasily. You're correct, I said evenly, rising and smoothing my jacket. I'm not kin. Kin shields each other's wrongs. Kin ignores when staff get harassed. Kin picks blood over skill. I stepped closer to Kevin, catching the sour whiff of his breath. But I'm real rivalry, and I've outdone you for years. The door opened again, and 2 skilled security pros I'd hired that morning entered. Not Richard's usual guards, but experts. Gentlemen, I said to them, escort these 2 off the premises. They're no longer staff and must gather personal items under watch. Kevin tried to protest, but one guard, a burly ex-Marine, stepped up, hands behind his back. Sir, easy or hard, your call. Richard restrained Kevin's arm. Come on, son, we're finished here. At the door, Richard turned back, looking drained and aged. This isn't done, he said softly. Yes, it is, I replied, settling into his chair. My chair now. It's been done for years. You just didn't see it. After they left, I summoned Sarah. Sarah, book an all-staff meeting for 10 a.m. in the main hall. Everyone, office workers, site bosses, project leads, crew chiefs, if they can make it from the sites. She nodded keenly. In 20 years under Richard, she'd never been valued or respected. Should I get coffee and pastries? She asked timidly. Definitely, it's a big meeting, and we've got much to cover. By 10 a.m., the hall was full. Some stood against walls, chairs gone. Crewmen in dusty gear sat beside crisp-shirted admins. I'd never seen the whole firm together. Some of you have been here longer than I've lived, I started, scanning familiar and fresh faces. You've shaped this company with your effort, expertise, and grit. Under new direction, that labor will be recognized and rewarded. Whispers spread through the room. First, the obvious. Yes, I've acquired Hartwell Builders. Yes, Richard and Kevin are gone. And yes, big shifts are ahead. Mike Rodriguez, a crane operator Richard nearly sacked for flagging unsafe gear, raised his hand. What about Kevin's botched jobs? The Henderson one's a disaster. We're 3 weeks late, and the groundwork's trash. I've studied all active jobs, I said, displaying a chart on the screen. Henderson will be fixed right, even if it costs more and takes longer. Our name rests on quality, not quick profits. I moved to the next slide, detailing each project's status and fixes. Riverside gets full environmental cleanup. Yes, it's $200,000, but better than a federal probe. Tom Wilson, a 15-year site boss, spoke. What about us? Layoffs coming? No cuts for performance. In fact, I'm rolling out changes to benefit everyone here. I showed the next slide. New policies and perks. Effective now. Profit sharing after 6 months. Safety rewards for clean projects. Tuition aid for skill growth. Promotions by merit, not ties. The room hummed with energy. These were gains they'd never imagined under Richard. Plus, zero tolerance for harassment, bias, or bullying. All get training, especially leaders. I eyed older bosses tied to the old clique. We're also setting up anonymous reporting for safety and workplace concerns. No one fears reprisal for valid issues. Sarah raised her hand. Admin changes, staff shifts. You stay, Sarah. You're getting a raise and new title. Executive aide to the CEO. Your experience is vital. Relief lit her face. I know change feels daunting, I went on, but I've spent 12 years readying for this. I've seen winning firms thrive, value staff, and nurture client trust. Danny Martinez, a younger crewman, shouted, "What about the harassment mess? Cleaning that up too? Anyone with proven complaints faces retraining. Repeat offenders are out. We're crafting a workplace free of fear." The meeting ran 2 hours. Questions covered vacations to gear upgrades. For the first time, staff felt listened to. As people left, Mike Rodriguez neared me. "Thanks, man. Richard would have canned me for calling out that shaky scaffold on Henderson. 3 guys could have been hurt bad." "That's why reports matter," I said. "Safety's non-negotiable." Word spread fast in the industry. Hartwell Builders had new direction, standards, and honor. 3 big developers called within a month. Henderson Properties, the one that ditched Richard, wanted a new deal. "We've heard of your focus on quality and safety," their manager said. "That's the partner we need." The local paper ran a headline, "Family Firm Reborn Under New Chief." They quoted staff praising the better culture and open leadership. "It's a whole new place," Sarah told them. "We have a say now." The story showed me outside headquarters with smiling workers. Not everyone cheered. Richard launched Heritage Builders, pitching himself as a seasoned pro. No bank would fund him. Safety fines, probes, and lawsuits made him untouchable. He tried poaching Hartwell staff, offering big pay and a true family vibe. Only 2 left, both Kevin's pals tied to past harassment. Kevin drifted job to job, unable to hide his firing from the family firm. He landed as an assistant manager at a small outfit in Florida, far from his past. Mom phoned 3 weeks post-takeover. "Richard says you shamed him before everyone, plotted revenge for years." "I plotted success," I corrected. "His shame was his own making. He's your stepdad. He housed you, gave you a start. He sheltered me and reminded me daily I wasn't kin for 16 years, I said. "There's a gap between raising and tolerating." Mom paused, Richard muttering behind her. The reporting system sparked improvements and 1 firing for theft. Morale soared. Staff voted me a plaque, "To the boss who hears." It sits where Richard's photo of Kevin once did. Success drew notice from trade magazines. Construction Today ran, "How New Vision Revived a Failing Firm," praising our safety, staff happiness, and quick turnaround. They asked about my path and the shift from old leadership. "Change is tough," I said tactfully, "but vital for progress." Richard got a sidebar, bitter. "I built that place from zero," he said. "Some don't value family or tradition." My words focused on staff, safety, and growth. His dwelt on grudges. A year later, Maria Santos, a new civil engineering grad, sat in my office, resume in hand, eyes firm. "I heard you rate work, not ties," she said. "Other firms ask about my dad or marriage plans." I hired her as a project engineer. On day 1, I took her to the Riverside site, now fixed right despite costs. "This is us," I said in the trailer. "Plans spread out. We build to last. We do it safely. We do it well." She nodded, hard hat shining. "And Maria," I added, "here, family's what you create, not what you're born to." Maria shone. In 6 months, she led small jobs. In a year, she handled major phases. Her precision and safety focus wowed all. The Henderson job starred in Architectural Digest for green practices. No incidents in 8 months. Henderson's CEO, Patricia Wells, called for more work. "Your team's skill and care stand out," she said. "We'd love a sole partnership for our next stage." That deal was $15 million over 3 years. Growth demanded more staff and gear. I needed seasoned managers to uphold our standards on bigger jobs. I did the unexpected, reached out to Richard's old rivals, wronged by his shady tactics. James Patterson, a manager blacklisted for rejecting fake reports, joined as quality control director. "Never thought I'd join Hartwell," he said, "but this isn't the same outfit. We grew from 85 to 150 workers. Culture held because we hired for values, not just need. Satisfaction ranked us tops regionally. Safety trophies lined our halls. Client loyalty hit 95%. Richard's heritage builders bid low to steal jobs. When they flopped, clients hired us to fix it. The irony amused the industry. We mended Richard's messes again like my Morrison days." One fall day, Kevin appeared unannounced. Security buzzed me. I met him in the lobby looking tired and thin. His attire was messy, frame gaunt. "I need work," he said bluntly. "Kevin, I know your thoughts, but I've turned around. The Florida suit, the booze, I did rehab, sober 4 months. He showed therapy and AA proof on his phone. No favors. Start me low, warehouse, basic pay. I just want to show I've changed." My mind screamed no. Kevin fueled the old toxic ways, but his eyes held new humility, regret. "What went down in Florida? Same as here. Harassment claim, sacked for cause. No dad to save me." I faced my flaws. I waited hard. "You'd answer to Maria Santos running equipment upkeep. Any issue, harassment, attitude, slip up, you're out for good." Kevin nodded fast. "Got it. Thank you. Thank me in 6 months if you're still here working well." Kevin's return stunned all. Some worried, recalling his past. I spoke at a full meeting. Kevin gets a trial to show growth. Report any misstep. Zero tolerance is real. Kevin began in the yard tending vehicles. He arrived early, stayed late, stayed quiet. No complaints came. After 3 months, Maria reported to me. Hate to say it, but Kevin's solid. Thorough, dependable, kind to all. Shocked? Yes. I braced for him to slip, but he's serious about reform. 6 months in, Kevin earned a small bump to equipment lead. He joined safety talks, offering good ideas. The holiday party tested him. Past ones were messy. Booze, bad acts, HR headaches. We revamped it. Pro venue, light drinks, families welcome. Kevin sipped soda, explained trucks to Maria's girl for 20 minutes, posing for pics. "Thanks," Maria said, "for letting him grow." 3 years in, Patricia Wells of Henderson called. "We'd like a big talk," she said. At her office, I met her and 3 other developers' reps. "We're eyeing a regional deal," Patricia said. "Exclusive work for 5 years. The figure floored me. $50 million more if we hit goals. "Why us?" I asked. "Integrity and profit coexist in you," Michael Torres of Torres Development said. "On time, on budget, no incidents. That's premium value." The deal meant 300 staff, new offices in 2 states. My dream from Army days, defying Richard's doubts. I needed a trusted ops leader. I named Maria VP of Operations, youngest ever at 28. Kevin, now a steady equipment boss, cheered her first. "She's earned it," he told me. "Her win makes me glad to be here." The twist wasn't lost on me. The talent Richard's era shunned now drove our best days. Year 4 tested us. Growth stressed our ways and values. Some new hires at branch offices skipped safety rules. We had our first big mishap in 3 years. A worker broke a leg falling from a scaffold at Riverside Phase 2. The probe showed lapsed protocols. I flew there, halted work until all retrained on safety. The $75,000 delay proved our stance. Safety's absolute, I told crews. No deadline or cost trumps going home whole. The lapse exposed weak oversight. Branch bosses had skill, but not our ethos. I started quarterly culture checks and leader swaps to headquarters for a month yearly. It worked. By year 5, all offices aligned. Safety stayed near 0. Satisfaction held high everywhere, but success hit personally. Mom called, voice tight. Richard's hospitalized. Pancreatic cancer, stage 4. How long? Weeks, maybe a month. He wants you. The hospital reeked of bleach and gloom. Richard looked weak, wired to beeping gear. The bold, controlling man of my youth was frail, afraid. Didn't think you'd show, he said. Mom asked me to, silence stretched. Then Richard spoke. I misjudged you badly. Richard, let me talk. You scared me from day one. Bright, driven, like me young, but not my kin. I couldn't bear you outshining Kevin. He coughed, wincing. I kept you down, fearing you'd outdo my boy. You did anyway. Kevin's thriving, I said. He's turned around. You took him in, gave him a shot to grow. He earned it. After all he did, all I did. People change if they try hard. Kevin tried. You, I'm not sure. Richard stared at the ceiling. The firm looks strong, better than my time. We've had good folks, good work. Luck? He chuckled, sharp. You turned a sinking ship into a giant in 5 years. That's vision grit. He faced me. I'm proud of you, of who you are. Should have said it long ago, Richard, and I'm sorry. For making you feel outcast at home, for saying you'd be nothing, for fearing my stepson 16 years. Tears stung. I blinked them away. I forgive you, I said, meaning it. Richard passed 2 weeks later. Kevin returned for the funeral, taking leave from us. It was quiet. Family, old colleagues, some early Hartwell crew. I eulogized, noting Richard's role in starting today's firm, skipping our rough past. Post-service, Kevin neared. Thanks for your words, for everything. Hiring me, letting me prove I'd grown. It wasn't simple. All deserve a shot if they'll work for it. Dad was right. You became all he feared, all he wished to be. 6 months on, Henderson offered our biggest gig, $25 million for a mixed-use hub to revive downtown. We signed in the same room where Richard gave me that low-wage job 16 years back. At the table, with trusted staff and respected clients, I recalled the scared teen who joined the army to escape Richard's limits. That boy couldn't dream this, leading 300, tied to top developers, thriving beyond Richard's peak. More than cash or status, I valued our culture, where Maria rose by skill, Kevin redeemed himself, safety and honor ruled. Signing, I glanced where Richard's portrait once hung. Now, a team photo from our latest safety win glowed. 150 smiles, the true core of Hartwell Builders. Clients gone, I lingered in the room. Sarah tapped the frame. New cards are here, she said, handing me a box. I liked them. I pulled one out. Michael Hartwell, Chief Executive Officer, Hartwell Builders, crafting excellence together. My name earned on a Hartwell card at last. That night, I called Mom. The funeral was nice, she said. Richard would have liked it. You okay? Really? Better than I thought. The house is quiet, calm. First time in years, calm. What's next? Maybe travel or visiting your office, seeing your work? I'd love that. Michael? Yes? I'm proud of you. Should have said it sooner, but I am. Of the man you are, the business you've shaped. I roamed the office after. Desks empty, screens dark, but success shone. Project pics on walls, safety trophies in cases, staff awards on a board. In my office, I sat at Richard's old power seat. The ownership papers framed marked our journey, not a prize, but a milestone. Tomorrow held new tasks, projects, chances to show integrity and respect, outlast fear and favor. Tonight, I savored it. Richard was wrong on all that counted. I'd risen without family cash. I'd built better than he dreamed. I did it by forging my family, legacy, and success, where talent won, safety ruled, and family was earned, not inherited. Richard said I'd be nothing without his wealth. He erred. I became everything, crafting my own kin, my own mark, my own triumph. That, beyond any sum or win, was worth all I'd given to get here.